Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review The Batman. I finished this show on Netflix, and I have them on DVD, so I thought I'd talk about this show. This show is a really underrated Batman show. It's a show not many people talk about, but someone has a small cult following, and it feels more like a modern Batman show, but like mixes of the animated series a little. And it's not as good as the animated series in my opinion, but I gotta say this show is easily my top Batman show. And I gotta say, easily the best part is Batman himself. The costume looks awesome, and the animation looks really great, and the voice acting too is really great. Like Reno Romano as a Batman, you feel like he's this younger Batman, still trying to figure himself out. And he goes up against various villains, the typical Batman rogues gallery, and they got their own unique designs. And it's more of an action-packed show. The animated series was action-packed, but they were limited. But this show just kind of went all out. And I think the best seasons are probably season 1 and 2. It kind of has Batman being a solo. He's trying to get a good relationship with the cops. He is also best friends with one of the cops, Ethan Bennett. And because they couldn't have Two-Face in the show for some reason, they instead had Ethan Bennett become, spoilers, he becomes Clayface later in the season. And it kind of creates this dynamic between the two because it feels like a tragic story for Batman and Ethan since they were best friends. We also get introduced to Detective Ellen Yen. She, for some reason, was only in seasons 1 and 2, but she's brilliantly played by Ming-Na Wen, and her character with Batman is awesome. They learn to team up. She first doesn't trust Batman, but eventually she learns that he is an ally, a hero of Gotham. But easily the more fun dynamic, easily the most compelling, was probably Batman and Alfred, the first 2 seasons. Alfred is in the show, but for seasons 3 and 4 and 5, but like it wasn't as impactful as we saw him in like seasons 1 and 2. But it's really good. Also, the Rogues Gallery is good. Like, there's some villains they didn't add because of the Dark Knight trilogy at the time, which was weird. But they added the Joker because he's the top Batman villain. He's played brilliantly by Kevin Michael Richardson. I felt the jester craziness of the Joker in this show. Like, he is someone you do not mess with. We also got Tom Kenny as Penguin, SpongeBob himself. He's really good as the Penguin. We got Catwoman. We got Bane, who literally crushed Batman in the second episode. So that's how you know the show has high stakes. We also get, I think we get Killer Croc. We do get Harley Quinn, but that's like later in the show. I wish she was in the show a bit more. They kind of just rushed her in the show. And we also got a Batman direct-to-DVD movie that I've already reviewed, Batman vs. Dracula, which takes place probably after season 2. That movie is really good and dark. Check it out. But the show kind of went into a different direction with seasons 3, 4, and 5. Like, the show wasn't bad. It kind of just felt different. Like, they didn't really explore Ellen Yen. And my only issue with the show, I felt some stories were abandoned. Like, they set them up, but then they kind of just, maybe they'll get back to it, but then they kind of just abandon it altogether, like having Ellen Yen. I think it was because, like, Jim Gordon eventually showed up in the show, but even then, he kind of stopped appearing in the show. But what was really good about the show is Batman's sidekicks. Because Robin wasn't allowed to appear in the show because of Teen Titans until season 4, but he teams up with Batgirl season 3, and she idolizes Batman, and he mentors her, and it's a really good, like, dynamic duo. And then Robin shows up, and he takes the spotlight in the show. But Batgirl's in a decent amount of episodes, even when Robin shows up. Like, you feel the Bat Family vibe. We even get an episode of them in the future, which was really good. And we got a bunch of celebrity cameos in this show too. We got we didn't see any celebrities, but we saw their voice actors. We got Adam West, Chris Pratt was in the show, surprisingly. Brandon Ralph. We got Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy playing Tony Zuko and John Grayson, which was really good in the Robin origin episode. But things do take a turn in season 4 once Martian Manhunter shows up. He decides to form the Justice League with Batman after saving the world from an alien invasion. Then eventually in season 5, they were kind of just doing superhero-centric episodes. They eventually had Superman. It was awesome. Green Lantern, Flash, Green Arrow, Hawkman. Yeah. We didn't see Wonder Woman or Aquaman for some reason. I wish they were in this roster of the Justice League. But those episodes were really fun. And yeah, the show does end with the Justice League. It was definitely a decent finale. It would have been cool if we got a season 6, but overall, I think this show really does respect Batman. Coming from a young man trying to figure himself out to learning to be part of a team. He even passes on that lesson to his fellow Justice Leaguers, his sidekicks, and he becomes a beloved figure in Batman. So I'd give the Batman probably an 8 out of 10 or 9. It's between those two. But just overall, my only issues were some nitpicks. But I'd love to review the show eventually, certain episodes. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.